It is 59 degrees Fahrenheit here in the parking lot this morning, and it is a weird, weird day because I keep looking back. All these imbeciles are still putting up "Rest in Peace, Doctor Who," and you know, especially the major idiots who are still reciting it like maybe if they stamp their feet and scream like children long enough, they'll get their way. And I just like die laughing when I keep thinking of. Remember, Doctor Who died in 2017. It's like, guys, it's 2024, and it's still here. Uh, I think Mark's trying to claim he's got a turtle head poking out. Yeah, I know that feeling. He's got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. He's got to drop the kids off at the pool. Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, Mark is brought up. Yeah, Doctor Who is back. It never went anywhere. The show didn't go on a hiatus. It didn't go off into the Twilight Zone. It's still here. It never went anywhere. And or my favorite other one, everybody remember this classic. Hashtag not my doctor. And I loved it when Jodie appeared on them talk shows and rubbed it into them people's faces. It's like, you should be ashamed. You had people talking smack about Capaldi as well. And then I remember because for a while I had my doubts about Matt Smith because he was so young and he looked like he had a Frankenstein head. But he was a damn good doctor, I got to admit. He's a fine actor, but I bet he's thinking, goodness that that whole House of the Dragon thing came along. I wanted to club his agent because of some of the roles he was landing, and oh goodness gracious. Well, I'm not gonna say Shooty's hitting the bricks, but it seems like everybody's sticking to the Troughton rule of three as far as number of years or number of seasons they stay in Doctor Who, and can you blame them? I'm not kidding. When Chibs heard that RTD was coming back, I bet he dropped on his feet, yanked his shoes off, and kissed RTD's feet because this guy did not have to take the job. And it's pretty much been confirmed that if he hadn't have taken the job when he did, the show would have went on hiatus. And that's because nobody wanted to touch it. Like Moffat said, it's become a poison chalice. Nobody wanted it. Because even if you go out there and you give them episodes that knock them flat with amazing, great storytelling, you still got that band of morons out there who are sitting there going, and it's like, meanwhile, these guys couldn't put two sentences together, let alone write a plot. Or like the old saying goes, those who can't do, preach. Used to be those who can't do, teach, but nope, those who can't do, preach. Plus, I want to thank, while we're out here rambling a bit, I want to thank the imbeciles who, after 9 years, decided to update Fallout 4. Yeah, sure, you made the graphics a lot clearer. The the pictures are, the picture is a lot, more defined. The graphics are better. But in exchange for that, now I'm getting slowdowns constantly when I didn't before. For the first time in 9 years, or sorry, not 9 years, it's been quite a few years I've been playing Fallout 4. For the first time in years, I've had major fails that have never happened before. Like this was like not about a week or so ago. First time in a long time I had to load, when you go to load up a save, it's called the never-ending load, or the load that goes to nowhere. You end up having to shut down the program because that's the first time that's happened in years. Also, they killed all the mods that made the game a lot more bearable. Like there were everything that was under the Fallout 4 script extension. Like the one that actually made it so you can go in and out of the workbench, like with the flash. Even gave you a little fast button where you hit a button and you were literally in the workbench on your settlement within like maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Now I've actually counted it. It's more than 30 seconds to a minute to get in and out of the workbench because they got rid of all that. Also, I could name settlers, rename settlers. Can't do that anymore. That was under F4SE. So now all my settlers are once again being called settler. It's like, it kind of gives the game a little more immersion when each of the characters have their own name, or each of the NPCs have their own name. Yeah, that's why I died laughing when Eccleston said, yeah, he would come back to Doctor Who if they fired all these people, and they're not going to. There's people who've been with Doctor Who for years. They're not going to quit their jobs. And it's not like I don't want Eccleston back. I think he was an amazing doctor. But at the same time, I can't be angry with him because, well, Billy doesn't corroborate his story, really. And it's like, really? Well, so? She may not have been in on those meetings or any of that stuff, that was going on. Or she may not have had the same feelings. You got to remember, this was like her first, I think, big break into TV. She didn't know the game back then. It's one thing to be a pop star, but when you start going into television, trust me, it's a whole different, parade of sharks circling in the pool. Yep, nearly 20 years now. Ain't it hard to believe? And it's supposed to have been dead since 2017. All I know is this. I'm glad the Fallout TV show was as good as it was. Just thinking of random thoughts. Who knows? Maybe we'll finally get a new version of New Vegas or new Fallout 3. It's just, I can't go back to them. I don't like the power armor in those games. Fallout 4 nailed it as far as power armor goes. Everything you see in the TV series, that's power armor post Fallout 4. In 3 in New Vegas, you just put it on like a suit of armor, and that was it. There was no fusion core. There was no entry, exit. You just put it on like you were putting on any of the other apparel. Sure, you got the bonuses, but there was no insert, jump in, jump out, none of that stuff. Not to mention, I can't stand I went out and shot a bunch of people with my weapon, now it needs repaired. Or people shot at me, I took damage, but my weapons are damaged. My body armor is damaged. I got to spend time sitting there fixing all of it again. And that's one thing they brought back in 76 I could not stand. And even if I wanted to get back into 76, I bought 76 for $60. I tried a little while ago before I changed to the new system, and you have like 25 gigs of updates to download, or you have to, I'm like, Shit, it's gonna be like the next day, even with my high-speed internet. Yeah, and of course, yeah, John Barrowman got raked over the coals for, stuff he did years ago. Yeah, they kept updating and updating and updating 76. Oh, and I like that. If you want your own private area to play in, you've got to pay us money. Meanwhile, you've got dumbasses nuking the countryside because they found the missile base and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the first thing a character wants to do 25 years after the apocalypse is drop nukes in the one area that apparently wasn't really affected by them. And that's another thing that never made sense to me about Fallout 76, because you're starting 25 years after the bombs dropped, and yet this whole area of Appalachia is barely irradiated. Sure, the water's irradiated, the way you call it, the food and all that, but you got to boil water just to drink it pretty much, or buy purified from the vendor if you find them. You got to be a minimum of level 30 to go on the Overseer's quest. I think that's when I finally cut it, because I was finally starting to get up in the levels a bit. I was like level 25 or something like that. But also, I'd like to try it now that I have a newer system that could probably keep up with it a bit better. But now I don't know how to get into it because I've changed systems. So now I'm going to have to go over there, okay, now I got to re-download the entire game. I got to re-download the updates and all that stuff. But back on Doctor Who. Doctor Who magazine's, out now for this month. Lots of good stuff. If you've ever seen the covers for Radio Times yet, they got multiple covers with Shooty and Millie in, different attire. Those are really good. Look those up. They're all over the place. That's another thing people are weirding out over. I'm like, no, so the Doctor likes to change his wardrobe a lot in this one. Nothing wrong with that. Well, one of the reasons why the water would be so radioactive in that particular area, even 200 years later, is remember, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Shady Sands just got nuked. Only so many years before. And that's why Maximus thinks the bombs dropped when he was a child. A lot of people freaked out over that. It's like, no, he was just there when Shady Sands got nuked. And so from his perspective, the bomb got dropped. He thought she was referring to the bomb that wiped out, or the bombs that wiped out Shady Sands. And what's interesting is that Oxhorn and all them brought up, Shady Sands and those communities were founded by vault survivors. So apparently, dumbass McLean didn't know that he's just wiped out under the Vault-Tec settlement. Technically. Ha ha. Well, folks, I just looked at the time. I got to start getting ready to go in. Please remember, be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Sure, it's Tuesday, Monday's ugly sister. But the good news is our Saturdays have been, far as I know, postponed till August until I hear otherwise. Who knows? Something may go wrong and they'll go double secret probation Saturday. Who knows? But until further notice, there'll be no Saturdays on this cast. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you all tomorrow.